press conference of Learner Tien. First of all, congrats, Learner. What a battle out there. Can you share with us your thoughts and emotions now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to get through. I think that's the biggest thing. I don't think I played, spectacular by any means, but I'm happy with how I competed and how I stuck around, and it's better to learn from a win than from a loss.
So I imagine Marcus is someone you're very familiar with. Like, how many, was this like the 20th time you've played? I know you only have one official match against him, but like, how many sets would you estimate you've like actually played against him in practice or anything else, or hitting with him at Carson? And what is that like to play someone that's like that familiar?
We've practiced a decent bit for the past few years, even when I was a bit younger. I actually didn't hit with him at all during this preseason for the first time in a few years, so I actually haven't hit with him since U.S. Open, I think, when we played doubles, but that was just, warming up. We didn't play any points, so last time we actually played was in Madrid. So it's been a while, obviously. He's had a great start to the year, I think, and he's playing well. So obviously coming in, having played a ton of matches already when, everyone hasn't really played that much, it's obviously a tough match.
I think this is, out of 4 matches at the AO, 3 5-setters and 3 wins. What's the secret to you staying in these matches and pulling them out, especially in such hot conditions?
I think mentally just try not to get too ahead of myself. Obviously, with the extended format, it's kind of tough not to, think to the future when, you could be playing for an hour and a half or for 4.5. So I think just trying to stay present as best I can, focus on the point, the game, in front of me instead of thinking, how long maybe I'll be on the court. And, eventually I was fortunate to find myself in a 5th today after being down a break in the 4th. So, sometimes at the start of the match, it feels like you have such a long way to go, but sometimes just before you know it, you're already in a 5th.
So you were down a break in the 4th and broke right back, but what would Lerner a year ago have been thinking, and what is Lerner a year later thinking in that same situation? Tough match, heat, weird bark and stuff flying in on the court. Talk about how you managed the situation.
I think both of us would have had the same belief that the match wasn't over. So I think that's something I usually do a pretty good job of. Obviously, I probably have a bit more experience now than I did then, but I think pretty similar. I've broken a few times before in the match, so it wasn't like I never saw any break points or anything like that. So I knew it was possible. Obviously, this early in the season, obviously he's had a couple good weeks, but still no one's super match fit. So, at this point, just making guys close you out and just trying to play tough in those moments, and fortunately it worked today.
How far is the win at the end of the season at the Next Gens, and does it feel like a long time ago, or is that something you're still kind of riding into this year?
Yeah, I see that kind of. I've always thought of it as the start of my next season, just because I do 3-4 weeks of preseason, then I go to play that event, and then I go home for maybe 5 or 6 days, and I come here. So next gen almost feels like the start of my next season. So I'm trying to do my best just to maintain that momentum coming here.
And I think after the 4th set, you had a little conversation with Michael Chang. What did he tell you?
It's mostly encouragement. Nothing crazy. I had a bit of momentum at that point, so I was down 4-3 returning in the 4th, and then I was able to steal that set. So I was feeling pretty good. I had a lot of adrenaline at that point, and physically I felt fine. So it's just more encouragement. I could kind of see the finish line, so just to keep going.
And what does he generally teach you or tell you? What to
during
improve,
matches?
or what, yeah, not during matches, but in life maybe.
I don't know. That's a tough question. I mean, just in general, I think he's very encouraging. You know, he's never getting down whether I'm playing well or whether I'm playing poorly. So, you know, he's always just consistently just giving me good energy, a lot of support. You know, everyone in my box was very supportive. You know, kind of got me through those last couple sets. But in general, just super encouraging, super supportive. He's not someone that will be saying something to me after every point, but you know, when he feels like I need to hear something, he'll tell me. But besides that, just a lot of encouragement.
Last one. Did you watch videos of him winning the French Open?
I've seen it a little bit of him play. I mean, there's not that much video from way back then, but
There's a record number of college players playing at the AO this year. So I was just wondering what your experience was coming from, I think it was USC. Your experience, the advantages and the disadvantages, whether you'd do the same if you had your time again.
I was young when I was kind of making that decision, so it's tough to say looking back whether I should have gone, or obviously I've done pretty well since leaving school, so maybe it's easier to say now, oh, you know, you should have maybe skipped. But I was young, and I didn't really mentally feel ready. Probably, I'm sure tennis-wise, I wasn't fully there yet either. So I think some time to mature and just to feel like I was fully committed to playing professional tennis. I think that was probably good for me. But you know, everyone has their own path. There's obviously some people that have a lot of success going to college, and some that have just been fortunate to be good enough to go straight. So you know, everyone's a unique case. I wouldn't say there's one way to go, but looking back, I'm really not sure. It's tough to say.
Have you ever lost your temper in a match at any level? Thrown a racket, because obviously you're very composed on the court.
Yeah.
I'm just sort of curious if
I mean, I almost threw my racket today, actually, after I got broken in the second. I think I doubled like 3 times that game or something. Yeah.
But you didn't.
I didn't. It was, I cocked it back, ready to go, but I didn't go through with it. I definitely have when I was younger. I mean, a decent bit when I was younger. I would kind of be a little bit more hot-headed maybe, but now I think I do a pretty good job with keeping it under wraps.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,